Diese Rede habe ich geschrieben für das erste Encampment im alten AKH hier in Wien. Und in dieser Rede habe ich mehrere Sachen vorhergesehen und ihr werdet mit mir sehen, dass sie alle in Kraft getreten sind. Everyone here is an anti-Semite. At least that's what you'll hear from everywhere tomorrow. Including us Jews. Anti-Semites, the lot of us. This is of course bullshit. Criticizing Israel is not a danger to Jews, it's a danger to Zionist interests. It makes Zionists uncomfortable. It makes them mad. It makes genocide deniers and genocide supporters afraid that they might one day sit before a new Nuremberg court and pay for their obscene crimes against humanity as they should. Most Zionists aren't even Jews. Most Zionists are evangelical Jew haters who dream of apocalypse, forced conversion, or death for all of us. Zionists have weaponized anti-Semitism to fight and silence and criminalize everyone who opposes their settler colonialist ideology. All those who bravely resist their genocidal project. This weaponization is increasing, just as the international popular support for the liberation of Palestine is growing. This weaponized anti-Semitism is a cover for the colonial violence in Palestine and elsewhere, to distract from the crimes of the Zionist entity, especially as they begin their genocidal campaign in Rafah right now, and the brutality of the repression against anti-Zionists. The people who dare stand up against oppression, who bravely fight for the conscience, for the right to life of Palestinians and all people. In the name of this weaponized anti-Semitism, the imperialist states of Turtle Island, Europe and the Middle East violate the rights of the people and hope to make us forget about their culpability in past crimes against humanity, as well as their complicity in current atrocities all over the globe. Some even get cushy jobs weaponizing anti-Semitism. Germans getting paid by the German government to tell us we're anti-Semites. Know that German and Austrian nationalism is only acceptable in the most fascist fringes of society. It has for many less overt reactionaries been replaced with Israeli nationalism. They hide their racism behind this anti-Semitism, yet they are no less racist. The externalization of anti-Semitism onto others to intentionally obscure the fact that they are the masters of it. From Christian Jew hate of the Middle Ages to the exterminatory history of this state and the ancestors of our accusers, seeks to wash them from their past and present crimes. Even their supposed love of Jews ends when said Jews don't conform to the idealized paper-thin picture of a Jew. In this fetishization, they other us, just as they orientalized Judeobolshevism and now Islam. We are still rejects of this society, proud failures of integration through our rejection of racism at the bottom of it. Even this, of course, distracts from fighting actual Jew hate. On Wednesdays, fascist Burschenschaftler gather in front of the university and are protected from anti-fascist protesters by the same cops who brutalize us. The streets in this city are still named of a fascist whose ill-gotten gains still fill the grandchildren's bank accounts. The direct continuation of their parties sit in the parliament spreading hate. Christianity still holds incredible amounts of power over society in this country where state and church still aren't separated. The source of both Jew hate and Islamophobia is still and will always be Christianity, fascism, racism, white supremacy, and colonialism. The same white supremacy that Zionists have allied themselves with, oppressing African and black Jews. The same anti-communism and imperialism that Israel supported, for example, in the Argentinian junta, that still boasts the most murdered Jews since 1945. The same fascism that Israeli ministers openly support and embody. Yesterday, May 5th, was the day of Mauthausen's liberation. May 8th, that of Vienna, the so-called Day of Liberation from German fascism. But was fascism actually defeated? Or did its political continuity lead to the perpetrator states buying legitimacy from the Zionists? A false legitimacy, a cover for more racism, nationalism, militarism, the core values of fascism. This week is Yom HaShoah. Next week, while Zionists celebrate what they call a war for independence, we will mourn the Nakba and recognize that all so-called nations are interdependent, just as we are. And as long as fascism thrives, we will never be safe. We anti-Zionist Jews know that a free Palestine isn't what makes us unsafe. We know that what makes us safe is solidarity, fighting oppressors side by side, whatever form their oppression may take. That what threatens Palestinians is a threat to us, to you, to all. We reject the weaponization of anti-Semitism in all those who wield it. We reject the repression of solidarity in all its forms. We reject the demonization of resistance. And we're not alone in this. The movement for liberation is growing every day, despite everything. 81 years ago on this day, the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising or Intifada was raging. Nazis entered the ghetto and were met with resistance, with Molotov cocktails, gunfire and grenades. Resistance of the oppressed reminds us of our duty to stand with them against all odds, to fight for a just world. We are all the people of the ghetto. Fight the cops, fight the power, fight colonialism, fight capitalism, fight imperialism, fight racism until the end, until we have broken every cage, because no one is free until we all are free. Thank you. Free, free Palestine!